Tonight, 5 children abducted in 3 weeks. Police say parents should be on high alert. Also, a leading cruise line has high marks for the Bahamas as a destination. And later, it's International Women's Day. We've got the highlights. This is Eyewitness News.
Eyewitness News brought to you by Flow Evo, powered by BTC. Flow Evo is here.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Janae Noel Ferguson. Thanks so much for joining us. Off the top tonight, police confirming that 3 boys were initially picked up yesterday after reporting that only 2 were taken. Now, 2 of them were later dropped off in their community, and the 3rd boy held for a longer period of time by their perpetrator. He was later found walking on Howell Road near the city dump. Now, head of the Central Detective Unit, sending a strong caution to parents, Arthur Seeley has the latest on this story tonight.
Yes, we should be concerned. One incident, particularly when you deal with kids, is one too many.
Chief Superintendent Solomon Cash finally admitting today, 3 weeks after the first child abduction in New Providence unfolded, that communities need to be on high alert for what appears to be a female child abductor or abductors on the loose. The nabbing started February 16th, and the most recent one unfolded in southern New Providence yesterday. He confirmed to Eyewitness News today that extra boots are on the ground.
We have investigative teams in all of these areas canvassing, some are so that we have already put together some additional strategy, which is a bit covered. We don't want to disclose all of the details of that strategy at this time.
February 16th, 6 p.m., South Beach. 3-year-old Shavard Bain was snatched off his tricycle while riding with his friends in his neighborhood. The culprit, believed to be a female driving a silver Honda. The boy was dropped off unharmed 16 hours later at a laundromat on Joe Farrington Road. March 3rd, an 8-year-old girl was snatched from her home in Culmersville, allegedly assaulted, and dropped off at Woodlawn Gardens an hour later. March 6th, 12-year-old Brendan Williams, feared to have been abducted, was actually just too afraid to walk home at night after spending time with neighborhood friends, so he slept at a neighbor's house. 24 hours later, terror struck again. Tyvon DeVoe was grabbed by a female abductor while playing ball on a park in southern New Providence. He was dropped off unharmed an hour later at the city dump. And then yesterday, March 8th, a female abductor struck again, this time grabbing 3 boys, a 7-year-old, an 8-year-old, and a 10-year-old in Cool Acres. A short time after snatching the boys, the 7-year-old and 8-year-old were dropped off to a Haitian village outside of Cool Acres, and the 10-year-old was kept and then dropped off at the city dump. Authorities believe that the incidents are connected.
Fortunately, no harm was brought to any of these kids, but who knows the intent of this perpetrator? Who knows the motive behind all these incidences? We have not yet established that, but I can tell you that we are up and about in all these communities, and hopefully we'll be able to be more conclusive as to who's responsible for these matters.
3 weeks, 6 victims. Police are calling on parents to assist their efforts by being more vigilant with their kids.
We are advising parents, to be more concerned and to supervise their kids better. I know all the communities are on edge because they're kids, and they disappearing from communities and being dropped in isolated locations. So that is a concern.
Authorities say they're following significant leads.
I'm confident that we are soon going to be able to identify who the suspect is.
Theo Seeley, Eyewitness News.
Well, meantime, residents in various communities have mixed views about who's responsible. Some say parents are to blame, while others suggest that authorities need to do more. Here's Tia Thompson with that.
In light of the recent child abductions here in the capital, residents say they are appalled and afraid for their kids' safety at home, school, or when hanging outside with friends. Residents in the Baintown community are especially concerned.
There was no anger. No one seemed angry at what was happening, what had happened. And I personally wondered why. What's going on in this country? How come we become so cold-hearted and so numb?
Our kids are being taken from us. Broad daylight, late evening, wherever.
These kids are not teenagers that are being missing according to social media, newspapers and news. These are babies. How long can a 5 or 8-year-old be unattended for somebody to take them.
Many residents were also of the view that law enforcement agencies have become too lackadaisical and not taking this issue seriously enough.
Women Crisis Center, we heard nothing from those people. And I said, who's here to protect our children? When the problems of the poor come to your door, then you will respond. When our problem becomes their problem, then they'll react in a different manner.
I don't think they are taking it seriously, okay? I feel as though there are more kids being abducted than they're letting on.
However, there are others that feel as though parents should be more accountable for their children.
I don't think the government is doing enough. Because if a 5-year-old go missing, the first person I can lock up is the parent. Where were you? This is a serious situation. My heart has been broken over the last few days with these children being missing, and I'm just so frightened for them because they cannot help themselves. I can't blame the government. I got to blame us, parents.
First of all, parents have to be very, very, very aware of where their children are at all times, no matter what their ages are.
Government has promised the implementation of the Marcos alert system, which many believe will better assist in finding missing children.
I feel as if that should have already been in full effect and fully implemented. When that child got taken from her home, there should have been a high alert. Everyone's supposed to have been out and about.
So if we bring that Marcos law into our community, into our nation, then if a child goes missing, I mean, come on, we're on WhatsApp 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. That right there can be our Marcos law.
This is what the kids enjoy doing on a regular basis. But how's that going to remain if they're being abducted and taken from their homes? Not only are the parents afraid, but so are the kids. Reporting for Eyewitness News, I'm Tia Thompson.
Thanks, Tia. Well, despite U.S. travel advisories, the Bahamas is still considered the #1 destination for Royal Caribbean cruise. The company's CEO, Michael Bailey, while speaking to a Rotary Club meeting today, says aside from the Bahamas being the #1 choice for their passengers, they continue to also attract Bahamians to work for the company. To date, they've employed over 1,000 Bahamians.
We have started to hire more Bahamians for our shipboard positions. So more recently, we've completed about 4 different recruiting fairs. We've hired over 200 Bahamians who are going to come and work on our ships. Obviously, young people in their early 20s, just like I, nearly 40 years ago, as a 22-year-old kid, got a job on a ship in the Caribbean. We are hoping and offering those opportunities to many of the kids in the Bahamas and around the world, by the way. We hire from many countries around the world.
Well, Bailey is also supportive of the new Nassau cruise port plans. This despite his company's consortium not succeeding in their bid.
It's going to be a huge opportunity for Nassau if we can collectively figure out how to make the destination more desirable. There are things that, in my opinion, do have to change. And, you know, again, it's a remarkably popular destination. There are 2 metrics that we look at with our guests. One is the desirability of a destination, and the other is the actual delivery or experience that they have. And one of the challenges or opportunities we have in Nassau is that gap. People are interested in coming, but they struggle a little bit with the actual delivery. And so I think collectively we can make a lot of improvements, and the development project's going to help with that.
Well, it's a big weekend for Bahamian youth and recruits, and executives from historically black colleges and universities are in the capital this weekend scouting talent. 2 events have been set for Saturday and Sunday at the British Colonial Hotel. Now, joining me live in studio tonight is President of Fisk University in Nashville, Tennessee, Dr. Kevin Rome. Now, Dr. Rome, obviously an exciting one for Bahamian students. Tell us a little bit about what makes an HBCU so attractive for Bahamian students in your view.
Well, at HBCUs, we have a family environment, and we take students from all over the world, particularly the islands at Fisk University, and we create that family environment for them, and we support them through the process.
Now, can you tell us what exactly is Fisk looking for? What kind of students?
We're looking for the best and brightest. Fisk is an excellent educational institution, so we're looking for excellent students who want to be leaders and who want to make a difference in their community.
Now, we always hear from colleges that they're not just looking for academics. They want a well-rounded students. What are some pointers that you can give persons who may not be able to attend the fair this year, but moving forward, some of the things that they can work on?
They should want to get involved in leadership opportunities and do community service and even have a job. You can use all of that experience in the college application process.
Now, the event is tomorrow and Sunday, so just give us some tips and some information on what students need to bring, what are the things they need to have. Is there any fees included to apply for this? How will this work this weekend?
Well, I can speak for Fisk University. We don't charge students to apply because we want students to have the opportunity. They want to bring their transcripts, their test scores, and any other documentation they have to support what they've done in school. And just bring it, make sure they stop by and see Fisk because we'll be looking for them.
Okay, definitely sounds like an exciting event. So all you college students out there, persons thinking about furthering their education, you definitely want to check out the college fair that takes place this weekend at the British Colonial Hotel. And we want to thank the president for joining us live in studio tonight. Well, switching gears now, charges against the newly appointed Works Registrar, Omar Archer, were dropped yesterday in the magistrate's court following the failure of police officers involved to appear for that hearing. Now, Archer has had several run-ins with law enforcement. In 2015, he jumped from the second-floor window in the South Street Court complex, breaking both of his legs. This after police tried to question him in reference to a complaint made against him a month earlier. However, in this particular case, he was charged with assaulting a police officer back in April 2018. Now, bench warrants, we understand, have been issued for the officers that were reportedly a no-show. Eyewitness News tried to reach out to Archer's attorney, legal director of Rights Bahamas, Fred Smith. However, our attempts were unsuccessful. Well, residents of another inner city community seeking job opportunities will have the chance to apply for existing and upcoming openings at the Labor on the Blocks initiative. That will be held in the Grantstown community tomorrow from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Interested persons are asked to bring their NIB cards and other government-issued ID. Now, that's your passport or your voter's card. It will be held at the C.R. Walker Senior High School. Now, Labor on the Blocks has been able to employ scores of Bahamians through its mobile job-seeking initiative, and that's connecting businesses with vacancies to the unemployed. Well, so we're just getting started in Eyewitness News, but when we come back, it's International Women's Day. Find out what the Prime Minister says the government will do to help advance the cause. And later, Verizon Media celebrates women in Eyewitness News. We've got more on that, but first, here's a check on tonight's weather forecast.
The Advisory Committee for National Honors invites nominations from the general public of persons fit to be conferred with an award under the National Honors Act 2016 and regulations made thereunder. These awards will recognize persons who have achieved excellence in designated categories while contributing to national development. Nomination forms may be obtained from the Cabinet Office in New Providence and the Office of the Administrator in all districts of the Family Islands. Completed nomination forms containing all of the pertinent information of the nominee must be submitted to the Secretary of the National Honor Secretariat, Cabinet Office, no later than Friday the 29th of March 2019 in order to enable the Advisory Committee to consider nominations and make recommendations for awards. There is no age limit for nominees of the award.
Join up for life insurance. Secure the ones that you love. Join up with Family Guardian. We offer full protection. Join the family. Join the family. Family Guardian. Protect the ones you love. A brand that you can trust. Family Guardian.
This portion of the news is brought to you by J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers, giving you peace of mind.
Where you're looking at live pictures over the fish fry at Arawak Key, where the temperature is right around 74 degrees with an expected dip to 71. This is Eyewitness News. Welcome back. Well, today being celebrated as World International Women's Day all around the world, Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis acknowledged in Parliament earlier this week that women in the Bahamas are still being discriminated against. He said his government is working to bridge the gap, especially as it relates to single mothers.
Speaker, I especially want to recognize the women of the world. Speaker, it is true that women are being discriminated upon, and I think all governments, including ourselves, will do all within our power to ensure that this discrimination is removed. And it's essential that we even strengthen our family courts, because it's somewhat distressful, especially for single parents, knowing what they must go through to receive adequate child support from their respective fathers.
Well, meanwhile, one of the few female members of Parliament, Glenys Hannah Martin, listed all of the areas that she says needs improvement as it relates to Bahamian women.
You want to remember that women are disproportionately represented in the unemployment ranks. We want to remember that single mothers continue to struggle, particularly with some instances, the fathers of children assisting in the maintenance of those children. We have to remember that there continues to be wage disparity, and women, with women earning less in many circumstances. We have to remember that women continue to be primarily the subject of gender-based violence, including rape. We have to remember that there's the intangible, the cultural bias and the negative stereotypes, which we see all the time and which women have to resist and reject. And we also must be reminded that we have unequal rights in our Constitution.
Well, women in telecoms gathered today at BTC to commemorate the trials they've blazed within the profession in the Bahamas. Matthew Moxie has more on that tonight.
Female employees at BTC combined their girl power and rallied to celebrate International Women's Day under the theme Balance for Better. According to BTC's Human Resources Manager, Nakia Forbes, though the spirit of the day is something the nation should be trying to live every day, women are still fighting the good fight. Forbes also said that women still experience challenges in the workforce.
Equality is important in the job place, and here at BTC we have women who are technicians, who are engineers, and it's important that we all feel a part of building the company and continuing with the success of the company. In human resources, we would have gotten reports sometimes about discrimination, whether it's your status or ethnicity, and we want to encourage the attitude of inclusion because our diversity helps define us. So we're hoping that this initiative, along with other training that's upcoming, will bring awareness to our employees. Right now in BTC, we have more male employees, but we have a few women who are at the senior leadership level in the company who are contributing and at the table, helping to make decisions to move the company forward.
Sales and marketing manager at Rubis, Latia Duncombe, told Eyewitness News the importance of counterbalance.
So when we look at counterbalance, we try oftentimes to do it all at the same time. Yes, there are different segments of our life that is very important, and we have to understand that everything cannot be done at the same time. There are times that you may have to push hard, and you push hard for a period of time, but it should be the exception and not the norm. You do not want to move at that warp speed all day, every day. It's just suicidal. You need the downtime, you need the family time, you need to rest, but you need to know what's important and when to get things done.
And in case you were wondering how you can achieve balance and manage your life appropriately, Training Authority CEO Keshell Davis gave us a few tips.
You have to set your priorities and your boundaries, right? Knowing what you want, where you want to go, and what is priority, what's most important, second important, third important, and then create the boundaries around that. I encourage women to ask for help. Women, we are so used to doing it all because we are expected to do so many things, and we think that we can do it all, but there are times when our plates get full.
Matthew Moxie, Eyewitness News.
Well, as the world pauses today to salute women, their achievements and struggles, here at home, the accolades also pour in. Bahamian women have for generations led and fought and achieved in nation building. And here at Verizon Media Group, women play key roles in the company's ability to deliver outstanding products in radio, advertising, public relations, and television. Well, we salute all of the women at Eyewitness News and our support networks during this Women's International Day. Well, coming up in tonight's BTC Connection, the company highlights some of its product offerings and what's coming up for Carnival. We've got that. But coming up, Randy Smith is off the top with the latest in sports. Good evening, Randy.
The Queen's College Comets pulled off the 2019 BISS Championships. We have all the scores from the event coming up in Eyewitness Sports.
Looking for quiet, relaxation, elegance, and luxurious but yet affordable pampering? Come and see us at Baja Retreat Spa, East Bay Street next to Luciano's. How about a manicure, pedicure, facial, eyebrow threading, and body sugaring? You can purchase an instant gift certificate online at www.bajaretreat.com or call us at 323-6711.
Surrounding the most prestigious communities of Western New Providence, you will discover corporate luxury. Welcome to Viridian, the most exclusive commercial development in the Bahamas. Enjoy deluxe, contemporary, and open-concept office suites with world-class amenities placed in close proximity to high-net-worth clients. This is where corporate meets luxury. To visit our sales gallery, contact 457-0508 or 438-6800. Viridian, where corporate meets luxury.
So what makes a great news product? That's the question Eyewitness News thrives upon. We pride ourselves in asking the tough questions and giving you information no one else is giving you.
Investigative reports to uncover things you need to know.
Breaking news with stories most important to you.
Covering all angles to maintain balance and integrity.
All while raising the bar and setting a new standard.
It's these principles that distinguish Eyewitness News as the most reliable news source. It's not just news, it's the new news standard.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Randy Smith, and welcome to Eyewitness Sports. Leading off tonight, the BISS Track and Field Championships wrapped up today at the Thomas A. Robinson National Stadium, and the Queen's College Comets walked away with the 2019 title. The Comets swept the 4x4 relays and built on a two-day lead to finish with a total of 1,374 total points. SAC was second with 1,317 points, followed by St. John's and Temple Christian. St. Anne's rounded out the top 5 with 328 points. In basketball news, the University of the Bahamas men's team hosted open tryouts this week at Kendall Isaacs. According to head coach Bacchus Roll, he's looking for selfless, energetic players that can fit his system.
Today's talent was pretty good, to be honest with you. Saw some players that we think could make an impact. Saw 1 or 2 11th graders who we got to keep an eye on for next year. I always say you can't coach big. And so if you get it big, you got to harness that talent and try to develop it into something that you can work with. But exceptional guard play. Saw some real good guard play today, and so the future looks kind of bright for what we believe it will be an exceptional team next year. I believe that this new team coming in will be able to rival the last teams from the last 2 years. I believe that we'll be able to see the longevity of the program. So this is going to be a great time to be part of the University of Bahamas basketball program, and we just anticipate good things.
Keeping on the basketball beat in Canada, Samuel Hunter was named to the All-Canadian BioSteel game, which takes place later this month. Hunter, who played his final high school season for BC Christian in British Columbia, is averaging over 17 points and 8 rebounds per game. He played last year in the Bahamas in the Caribbean Tip-Off Classic. Also, the NPBA playoffs continue tonight at AF Adelaide. In Division 2, the Triple K Stampers look to sweep the Sun Oil Rockets, while the University of the Bahamas looks to fend off elimination against the JD Seafood Shockers in Division 1. Well, that does it for us in sports, but stay tuned. Eyewitness News continues in a moment. I'm Randy Smith. Have a great evening.
You're watching Eyewitness News.
Good evening and welcome to the Bahamas Masqueraders launch of Illumination, our 2019 presentation.
I'm Corval Pifo. Bahamas Carnival season is here. And with the countdown to this year's Road Fever officially underway, BTC has again teamed up with one of Carnival's most electrifying bands, Bahamas Masqueraders, who this year will be, shall we say, lighting things up.
For the past few years, BTC has came on board, and it's been a phenomenal experience to be one of the senior designers for BTC section. The colors of the company, we express it to our section every year, and it's been phenomenal for us. The section always sells out, and BTC being one of the entities that make Carnival possible, it's been great for us.
BTC is the title sponsor for Masqueraders Carnival Group. We're very pleased and proud to be able to support such a phenomenal group. We're going to see beautiful designs this evening, and there's also a section specifically designed for BTC. We're looking forward to seeing what those wonderful designs will be for the BTC section. This year, we'll be on the road with Masqueraders and all of their events. BTC will definitely be there.
BTC is proud to be throwing its support behind Bahamas Masqueraders, so we'll see you on the road May 4th, as together we create more of those moments that move us. At BTC, we're always on. I'm Corval Pifrum, and we'll see you next BTC Connection.
Well, coming up on Beyond the Headlines with Clint Watson, a celebration of women with guest Cynthia Mother Pratt and Natural Black. You don't want to miss that exciting discussion. That's coming up in Beyond the Headlines. It starts right after this. Well, that does it for us here at Eyewitness News. It's certainly been a pleasure having you in our company tonight. On behalf of the entire news team, I'm Janae Noel Ferguson saying good night.